Today's video is a very special video. I get asked this question all the time on the daily, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you all my stats, not just my GPA, so you can kind of see what type of applicant I was when I applied to PA school. Here we go. So the purpose of this video is to instill some hope and hopefully some motivation for anyone that does have a low GPA and anyone that, might be lacking in certain areas of your application. It's all about being holistic and being a well-rounded applicant. I'm probably going to be perceived differently from a lot of you guys that watch this video and even some friends that watch this video, as I've never shared my GPA that closely with many people. And talking about your GPA is a very personal matter, especially if you have a low one. And even people that have great GPAs, no one really goes around bragging that they have 4.0s or anything like that. So this is definitely kind of a sensitive topic, but I'm very comfortable and confident in my experiences, my struggles, and how that shaped me to the student I am today. I never thought in my short 24-year life, almost 25, that I would post a YouTube video going over my GPAs and my stats on YouTube. And I'm putting this video out there for the people that doubted me and for those who don't think I can succeed in PA school. And I'm ready to prove them all wrong.
Thank you guys for the additional motivation.
I also haven't told my parents my actual GPA, so if and when they do watch this video, they know it was on the lower end, but I never gave them exact numbers. So mom and dad, if you watch this, I'm sorry. I didn't study as hard in college, but I don't regret my college experience and all the intangible things I gained outside the classroom. And I wouldn't change that for an extra 0.1 in my GPA, so. Alright, so let's jump into age. The age of when I applied to PA school. When the cycle opened last year, I was 24, and I'm gonna be turning 25 this upcoming April. Woo! Quarter of a century. You're never too old to pursue your dreams. So my cumulative GPA, and this includes my freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, and post-bac classes, was, drum roll, at 3.26. And it was a 3.26 with no real upward trend. It was more like a sine graph pattern for all you math whizzes, kind of like a roller coaster. So my freshman year, I had a low GPA. My sophomore year, I had a great GPA. My junior year, I had a okay GPA. My senior year, a little bit better. Post-bac, did well. So my post-bac classes, I took 5 or 6 to finish prereqs that I needed for PA school, and I got A's in all of them. And it was a little bit stressful because my science GPA before my post-bac classes was a 2.98 before my post-bac classes. So I had to get an A in anatomy and physiology to raise my science GPA up above a 3.0 to apply to a lot more programs that I wanted to. Thankfully, I got A's in those and I focused a little bit more energy into studying, and my science GPA was a whopping 3.01, which is literally 0.01 above the cutoff for a lot of schools. It's important if you have a low GPA to make sure that your cumulative and your science GPA are above the minimum requirement so that you can apply to more programs. You're probably thinking, wow, James, your GPA was not very good. You're probably not a smart student. And although, yeah, my GPA is low, I don't necessarily associate my GPA with my intelligence level or how smart I am. When I talk to other students about low GPAs, I like to ask them, what other priorities did you have during that time? Were there other conflicts or reasons why that your focus wasn't, more on academics? And life happens. You obviously want to have the best GPA as possible. If you start off with a low GPA, you want to see somewhat of an upward trend. Let's take Gary V for example. Gary Vaynerchuk. He is entrepreneur, businessman, and he got D's and F's in high school.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
And high school was easy. You can't necessarily determine someone's intelligence or, what their potential is just by grades. And if you look at a lot of the biggest founders and influencers in the world, a lot of them are college dropouts, and I got my degree, so I have that over them. So my prereq GPA, this differed a little bit, program by program because each school didn't require the same exact prerequisites. My prereq GPA was around a 3.5, 3.6, depending on the program. So the classes I needed to get into PA school, I did fairly well in them. GRE, so my total combined GRE score was a 325. at a 340. I was really shooting for a 330, but I was still satisfied with my 325. To break down my score a little bit more, I got a 163 in the verbal section, which was a 92nd percentile. I got a 162 in the math section, which was an 82nd percentile, and I got a killer 3.5 in my analytical writing. And I didn't practice a single full essay, and it definitely showed on the exam score. And an average is a 4, so I got a 3.5. But thankfully, schools don't take the analytical writing score too much into account. I think I did a good job of balancing my bad analytical writing score with a great personal statement. So my patient care hours, I had just over 3,000 hours as a physical therapy aide. I volunteered for 2 years as a physical therapy aide, and I worked full-time for 1 year as a physical therapy aide. For healthcare experience, I had around 300 hours as a CCE volunteer, which I mentioned in an earlier video when I talk about my experiences. Shadowing, I had about 100 hours split between 2 PAs. So those are my stats, those are my numbers. You guys know my GPA, my GRE score, and my healthcare experience. Being someone with a low college GPA, I don't let it define who I am, and I don't let it limit me in terms of believing in what I'm capable of. I definitely learned a lot through my struggles, and I think because I didn't do so hot in undergrad, it's made me a better student, and it's truly helped me to be a more effective studier and doing the little things that help me succeed in exams. So I'm here to tell you that GPA isn't everything.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I know plenty of people that had 3.7s, 3.8s, 3.9s, 4.0s that didn't get into PA school this cycle. And yes, GPA is important. You obviously want to have a good GPA, no doubt about that. But it's not only about your grades. Having a good GPA makes your life easier. I had to work my butt off to, get into PA school. A big thing I want to emphasize is don't dwell too much on the past, and you don't want to dwell too much on things that are out of your control. So focus all that energy on things that you can control. You can get more healthcare hours. You can crush the GRE if you haven't taken it already. You can take more classes and get A's in them. Build connections. These things are all in your control. Study effectively, gain meaningful experiences, work hard, and you'll be able to achieve whatever you want to achieve. I hope you guys can give this video a thumbs up, as I shared very personal information, but I'm very open. I want to help motivate you guys and inspire you guys, give you guys full 360-degree experience of my experiences getting into PA school. And if you do have a low GPA, don't count yourself out. The path might not be the same as what you imagined, but if you truly want it, you'll get there. I promise you. Don't forget to be like my blood type, be positive. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.